Hello, good afternoon. It's 2 o'clock, new time, same show, new guest, new topic, same host. My name is Phil, and this is Let's Make a List on KPCA LP. This is Petaluma, California at 103.3 FM and online at kpca.fm. So Let's Make a List is a show where I have a guest or a few guests on, and we pick a topic relating to some kind of performing art, usually TVs, movies, books, music, something like that. And we each make a list separately, and then we come on the show and talk about our picks. So today I have a returning guest, third time on the show. I've met her. How many days are there in my life? Most of those I've met her. So this is my mom, Kathleen.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Mom. Thanks for being on the show again.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Cool. This is the first time it's just the two of us on the show. So that means we can talk bad things about all those other co-hosts we sometimes have on the show. Because we have so many things to say. And it's better to air it publicly.
That's right. Before we get started, I'd like to address the elephant in the room.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
The reason I'm dressed like this, I know you were staring at me going, why are you dressed like that?
I didn't.
And it's because I got this gown to wear to the envelope, please, all right? And because I figure it's my only time I'm ever going to be able to go to an Oscar event.
Yeah.
So I already own it. I don't want, I'm not going to wear it after the show. That's just, people don't do that. So I thought I'd wear it today just to get ready for it. And the gloves, make sure the gloves work and everything, So it's kind of exciting wearing it. I feel so elegant.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you lucked out. Everyone else wore gowns today, too, at the stadium.
Well,
Studio.
I also thought if someone sees me on the street, they'll go, why are you dressed that way? And then I can say, well, have you heard about Envelope, Please? And, because Petaluma, it's a big event. So.
Yeah, and you just put out your hands, wait for them to put money in it.
Oh, because they'll give me, no?
Yeah, for tickets.
Oh, right, for tickets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah.
The envelope, please. Oh, now that you brought it up, I will mention it. March 4th, 2018, less than a month away, at the Mystic Theater in Petaluma, California, we have KPCA's annual fundraiser. It's our third year doing it. It's Oscar night. And what we do is we have the red carpet out in front of Mystic Theater, and people show up. They usually dress up if they want. And we show the Academy Awards on the big screen. And we have raffles throughout the night. And Tom Gaffey, who many people know in Petaluma, and myself are going to be talking about stuff during the commercial breaks and talking about the station. Other people are going to come up, and just a big celebration for fun. And it's 21 and over. And tickets, if you get them ahead of time, they're $40. And it starts at 4 p.m. on March 4th at the Mystic Theater in Petaluma. You can find tickets online at kpca.fm, or you can come down to the station on Keller Street and get tickets in person. And
I recommend you get the ticket first and then get your gown, because these things are expensive, especially with the jewelry. Because they don't lend me diamonds. I have to get my own.
That's true. You have to steal them.
Yeah. No, that's not right.
Oh, okay.
They are real.
Really stolen, but you got go. All right. Well, that is a good segue into our theme for today, which I'm going to say what it is, our topic, and then I'm going to talk about other stuff, then come back to the topic. So the topic is comfort shows, TV shows that we find comforting. That's the only kind of discussion we've had about it so far. We might be thinking of things totally differently. We'll find out. But first, time for some current issues. Top of the morning to you stories, extra. So the Olympics, I think, just started, or the opening ceremony was this morning, last night.
Tonight maybe, I don't know.
Okay, well, I know there's something happened because they were the Donald Trump and Kim Jong-il. Sorry, everybody. There were impersonators that showed up, and they got kicked out.
Oh,
and they were hanging out together, and they were going look, we're showing that America and North Korea get along. But apparently got kicked out. So my question is, because I just the other day, Earl and I were talking, we're like, are the Winter Olympics soon? Is it the end of the year? It was a little surprising how much we didn't know what was going on.
Me too.
And I feel like when I was younger, it was much different. Have you noticed throughout your life kind of just the vibe around it and just the stuff changing?
Yep.
Do you think do you think it's like that for people throughout the world, or do you think it's mostly because of America? Like in America, how just patriotism is, I feel like, morphed into something that it actually, you know what I mean? It's changed so much.
That's interesting. You're comparing it, you're connecting it to patriotism and I go like, oh yeah, when I was a kid, it was a very patriotic thing, and it probably is still for many people.
Oh yeah, for many, yeah.
I've seen the commercials on television because I still watch live TV. You know what I mean? Current, I don't.
You watch the Olympics.
So, and I've seen the commercials that are made so they make you tear up because the Olympians are going off and people wave to them from overpasses, and the small town heroes, although they haven't been seen in those towns for years because they're too busy training. Yeah. But I think part of the reason I haven't heard about it though is because TV is so watered down. I don't mean quality wise. I mean there's just so many things to watch that if you're not watching one of the channels related that gets it that year, you don't see stuff about it. But I don't know. It could just be that I'm just not that interested, so I'm not following.
Okay. In Summer Olympics, I feel like there's usually a little more interest because there are probably more celebrities involved, maybe. Because you have basketball during the summer.
Oh, because the kinds of sports.
Yeah, kind of sports. But actually, I don't know.
But
I take that back.
I really enjoy a lot of the sports, but in the Olympics. But it's the presentation of them now. They used to just, you got to watch the events.
Right, now it's just
there's so much like extra stuff everywhere. That I don't want to see. And I don't want to see the interviews. I want to see the actual sport.
Yep. Apparently in London, when they have, was it 2012, I think, that I've heard from people and read that when you're within like where the Olympics actually are, there's like it wasn't advertising everywhere and stuff. It was very much just the event without them trying to pressure you to buy stuff and things like that, which is pretty cool.
But I'm sure that don't their uniforms have advertising on them now?
Oh, probably. But it's like it's like when you see on TV, when you see
that's
just other stuff around. There's so much.
Everything
is sponsored by something.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious because Olympics seem to be a bigger deal. It's just there are a number of things that feel like that, like Halloween. Well, Halloween I feel like is becoming more of an adult holiday, which is kind of a bummer. It's cool that adults want to celebrate, obviously, but I just don't see trick-or-treaters that much. And then just certain things I wonder if it's just me getting older, and so my perspective changes, or if things actually are changing.
Well, I really was surprised when I realized that it's like yesterday or today or tomorrow or something, and I didn't know that.
Yep.
That tells me. And I was just down in Disneyland, and the ESPN is a big part of Disneyland, and I didn't see Olympic stuff all over there at all. Yeah. No, I don't remember if I saw anything about the Olympics down there. Huh. Like on the banners or something. Of course, the Super Bowl was there on Sunday. That might have something to do with it.
Oh, yeah, the Super Bowl. Yeah. Yep.
I don't mean it was in Disneyland. I meant it was playing on the screens there.
But also on the West Coast, winter sports aren't nearly as big as they are on the East Coast and stuff. So maybe on the East Coast,
I don't know. There's a lot of transplants here.
Yeah, but that like hockey, I think, is the way that maybe like basketball and baseball is here, where it's just people would go out and play hockey. Here, I feel like it's much
John,
less
this
common.
is to you. Yeah, people like play hockey here.
No, I actually thought of the Cars first. Yeah. But I don't know many people who just play hockey. Like my friends and I growing up, we never would. Well,
you played
a little bit.
Ice skate. You played roller skating.
A little bit, yeah. But it was pretty much always basketball or baseball or football. All right, sports talk. I think it has to do with popular culture. I think it kind of fits. All right, so the topic. This was a more complicated one than I thought it would be. I thought it would just be like, I just think of shows that are comforting. Boom, done. Put them in order. But here's my thing. I kind of split two categories, but I have the one that is the go-to for today's show. Then I have another one that I want to talk about if we have time or if it seems appropriate.
List or another show?
List of comfort shows, but they're shows that were mostly from my childhood that when I think of them or I talk about them, they're very comforting, but I don't really want to watch them now because I think I'll be bored, or I'll be like, I don't want to wreck my memory. So there's shows, when I think of comfort shows, a lot of them are from when I was a kid because they comforted me so much when I was a kid. But now I was a kid, but it's a different list now because most of the shows that I watched as a kid I just don't watch anymore for many reasons. So I think of what's actually comforting, and then what I still remember as being comforting. You know what I mean?
I do, because when I decided not to look anything up for this one. I
Okay.
just let it, come to my mind, and then what I found interesting was how many of these shows are related to each other.
Oh, really? Okay,
But
yeah.
anyway, but that thing about the kid thing, there's a lot of shows that I'll remember that even now, because you can really find TV shows now that for a while you couldn't. And I'd see one on TV and I'd watch it and go like, oh my God, this is so boring. When I had it in my head that if this comes back, like that'll be great to see it, and I'll watch and I go like, nope, that's boring.
Yep.
I mean, it's fun for a moment, but it's just fun. It's not like something I want to watch a lot. Where all the ones I picked are actually I can watch them all the time. And what I put, do you want to know how I
do.
what I saw as comfort? Where these aren't shows that I will just sit down and watch like a TV show. There's so many good TV shows on now that are new that those are the ones I use for that.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the ones I use for maybe I'm sitting down to eat lunch or something and it's on, or I'm in wait, like I'm waiting for a phone call, or if I'm waiting I have to do something important, but I have to put it off. And so I'll put on something like this just to relax me, comfort me, And they're all old shows.
Okay.
And
I'm a little surprised by that.
But that's because if it's a comfort show for me, I have to kind of know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I totally get that.
In a way.
Yep, very much.
And I don't usually watch these. These are on in the room when I'm like doing a puzzle or working on some paperwork, or
would they be ones when you're trying to fall asleep?
And yes, some of them, but those are the ones that only works if I don't have to look at it.
Okay, yeah.
Because then I have to open my eyes and it's like, that's not working.
So is it usually ones then for that you know really well? So you already know what it kind of looks like in your head?
Or you don't need to see it because
Right.
it's written well enough that the conversation takes care of it.
So do you ever put on the TV when you're trying to fall asleep the radio stations?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Because partly because it doesn't have a timer and all this, and I don't.
I was thinking like because they have channels on the TV where if you go way up, they have somewhere.
No, it doesn't work for me. I have to have something that actually takes my mind away from itself.
Yep.
Because I can't fall asleep if I'm thinking too hard.
Yep, me too.
And boy, does TV take that away.
Yeah. I read until it's hard for me to hold the book or the phone anymore.
Yeah.
Then I
Me
fall
too.
asleep.
Except for now that I have to wear glasses, that doesn't work. Because I have to take my glasses off.
You could tie your glasses tie them on a string and then tie the string onto the ceiling, and then make it so when you nod off, it just pulls your glasses
I like that.
off. So
I like that a lot.
Yeah, or
I'll probably
pull
do
yourself
that.
away from it.
I'll probably do that tonight.
All right, cool. You should take a nap and do it so that way tonight you'll know if it works or not.
I used to, back when I used to always use reading for going to sleep before I came a bum and put a TV in the bedroom, But what was funny about that is I was using that every night to fall asleep, and then I went on a road trip with my brother, and he put a book on tape, went right to sleep.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah. I've had. Yeah, Errol and I, we don't have a TV in our bedroom, mostly probably because we know that we stay in bed longer than we should, where it's like you and Dad don't have that issue, where you guys can just wake up and think, okay, let's go, get going. That's what it appears to be like. But yeah, I've had friends come over and visit our house and go in the bedroom and be like, where's your TV? And then I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that people do it. It's a regular thing. Okay.
You can watch on your laptop anyway, though, too.
That's actually a good point. We actually, I do look at stuff on my phone a lot.
I just don't do that.
So never mind. I guess I'm not better than anybody. These are for real quick before we get to our actual picks, things that went into me picking it. When I think of relaxing, I think of like everyone thinks of sitting at a beach with your feet up with a drink and an umbrella in it. So I just pick shows that take place on the coast.
Yep.
Or at least I'd say at least 75% of the stuff they talk about is sand related. All right.
I made a food connection when I did it. I was thinking I often do that where I'll take something and make it seem like something else. I'll just explain it. But anyway, so like comfort food.
Yeah.
Comfort food for me when I was a kid is like
Macaroni and cheese.
macaroni and cheese or scrambled eggs, but what I was thinking, the reason these have to be shows I've already seen, because somebody says, oh, we're having scrambled eggs. Like when I was a kid, we were Catholic, we never had meat on Fridays, so our Friday night meals were always great.
Yeah.
Even though I loved meat, it wasn't that, it was that.
Well, I didn't know that's why you didn't have.
Yeah.
I didn't actually know.
Yeah.
I knew you were Catholic, but I didn't know that.
God said.
Yeah.
So, but my mom would say we're having, scrambled eggs for dinner. I get so happy because I love scrambled eggs. But then they would come to the table and have green peppers and tomatoes in it. It's like, you've ruined my life, because here I was looking forward to dinner, and you've ruined it.
Yeah.
So that's why these shows have to be ones I've already seen, I think, if you're going to compare them that way, because that way I'm not going like, oh, wait, this isn't relaxing me after all.
Yep. Until you get that. These are things that actually went into make my list. Usually characters I don't mind hanging out with. That's the thing I think about shows a lot.
That's a really good one.
Shows that when I'm in a hotel room and I'm going through, I'm relieved when I find that. I'm like, okay, nice, this is good.
I do that too.
The stakes usually aren't very big in the show, as in like it's not like the end of the world or actually like, oh god, this person's gonna go to jail forever kind of thing. It's like it's not supposed to stress you out. Or like Breaking Bad, one of my favorite shows of all time, not comforting.
I use the hotel thing for this list too. Yeah.
Yep.
Especially when you're in a foreign country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was like, oh, good. Because sometimes you get like a little homesick or you just get like you're feeling a little frazzled. And you put that on and you go, okay, that centers me. Not that TV is medicine, but
Yeah.
And then you go, okay. And it gets you relaxed, and then you go on with the next part.
They're usually kind of fast moving, not like action, but again, there aren't long stretches of silence usually. Ooh, we're getting a phone call real quick. I'm going to go ahead and answer that. Oh, they hang up? Nope, they did not. All right. 1 second. Hello, thanks for calling KPCA. You are on the air, and please watch your language. How you doing today? Nope. All right. I think I think it's the second time that I've had a telemarketer call and hang up.
Oh.
It'd be fun to be a telemarketer and call, and it's like, you're on the air. Okay. So sorry for that interruption. But fast moving, yeah, there's usually like dialogue is pretty common. What? Constant. There we go. Usually brightly lit. The show, the set. That makes a difference for me.
Not for me.
Which is weird because when I'm trying to fall asleep, you'd think not. But I like it when it's brightly lit.
But you don't
and I like
try to fall
colorful.
asleep on the TV, though.
Well, sometimes if I want to be comforted and I want to fall asleep.
Okay, there you go. Do you have it really loud in the living room when you're in bedroom?
Yeah. Shows that I can usually watch multiple episodes in a row.
Yes, I always hope for that.
Yep. And it also depends on who I'm with. I picked ones that are basically just if I was by myself. But if I'm with like Ariel or somewhere, or with like our family or the rest of our family somewhere else, then it changes the list considerably.
I only thought of myself too.
Oh, how many do you have?
I have about a dozen, but I could not put them in order. I tried and I really couldn't. I could try, I guess.
Oh, if you want, I have 50. You don't need to. Ooh. I have 15 in order. Do you want me to do, because you have 12?
Well,
I 15, 14, 13.
Let me count.
Oh, okay. So we can see. I can do a few if I have more, and then by the time we get to whatever number you have,
yeah, I have like 17.
17. Oh, perfect. Then. I don't know why I said perfect because it's not perfect. If you have 15, that'd be perfect.
And they're not in order, but I can try.
Do you want to try to order it?
I can try. I can do it as I play it.
Okay, cool.
And then I'll
go first.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Okay, I'll go first then, just to give you a little more time.
I'm predicting. We're gonna overlap about half.
Okay, I think.
What do you think?
I'm gonna real quick. I'm gonna talk out loud while I'm counting. I'm gonna count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 5.
Okay.
Of them are gonna overlap. But I have the ones my childhood shows. I should probably go through those after, because I don't want to spoil this list too much. But it's. I think there are a lot of shows in my childhood one, or a few that you will have on yours.
I don't have 17 because I'm crossing out a few.
Oh.
It's all right.
That's so sad.
No, it's good.
Okay, cool. I know what shows it. I bet I know what show it is.
No,
Married with Children and commercials for Hooters. All right. I will go first. My number 15. which the reason it's not higher on the list, I will explain. It's Law and Order, the original Law and Order. It is comforting as in you go, okay, like this is perfect hotel room in bed kind of show where you got, okay, I got an hour. I'm going to be entertained. I know some of the characters. I'll be emotionally involved some, but it's not going to like destroy me. Usually. Sometimes it is really rough and can stick with me and go like, I can't go to bed now. I need to see something a little bit more uplifting.
And it's not bright, so it has to be.
It's not bright. Yeah, so that kind of goes against all my rules. It is fast moving usually though, but I think it's just very familiar with it. And the original, like SVU, I like a lot, but that is usually makes me more uncomfortable just because of the crimes and stuff that happen. And a lot of their Law and Order shows I just don't think are as good. Yeah. What do you?
So you want me to tell you when I have things on the list that match yours?
Sure. And then
I have Law and Order too, but it's a little higher up.
Okay. The original.
Yeah,
Law and
but
Order?
I like them all though. Oh no, I like SVU and
CI.
yeah.
I like both those, but not as much.
Yeah,
as
the original is best for me.
Yeah. All right. What's your? Do you have an order yet? Kind of or no? I did not give you much time.
Sorta. I just sort of do.
Just sorta?
Because some of these I watch more intentionally. So, but for his comfort, I'm going to say Roseanne's my next one on the list.
Okay.
Roseanne, because it's always pretty fun. What I also thought of when I was looking through these is the earlier episodes are so much more comforting than later.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sometimes when they're later, I just like. Ugh.
Those are some of mine on my list are
Yeah.
affected by that significantly.
Because Roseanne, I is one of my favorite shows, except for near the end, it just wasn't.
Yeah. I've talked about this on the show probably, but Roseanne I like, but I considered it a headache show because it would be on at like 5 o'clock, I think, every day. And that's when I would need to eat after school and when I realized I need to do homework. So I get a headache during that time.
That's kind of funny.
Yep.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah. But yeah, that's not on my list, but I like it. Probably because of the headaches. All right. 14 is Family Guy. But the thing is, early Family Guy, the first 4 years, like before it was canceled first, I still think those are great. But then after that, it's very hit or miss. I just feel like so many of the jokes just became just references. That's all. And it was just like, I like this too, but okay.
Yeah.
But the first like 4 seasons I think are phenomenal.
Yeah, it didn't make my list because it tends to jump the shark, as they say.
Yeah.
And it got a little offensive for me, which is weird because
Okay.
TV doesn't usually offend me. I don't know.
Yeah. And you didn't take no. You didn't. I was just looking at you because I was trying to think of what I was going to say. Never mind. The time for my joke has passed.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. What's next on yours?
I'm gonna go with Arrested Development.
Ooh, that's on my list.
Yeah, but
Show
the
up
reason
later.
it's lower is because I have to kind of sit and watch that one.
I get that.
And I decided that this list has to be more ones that aren't like that for me.
Arrested Development is the plot, especially in the. Did you see the Netflix season?
I started it, but I never finished it. That's a weird thing.
It gets confusing for me. The final season, and then the before that, and then Netflix one. The plot. There's so many intertwining things, and it's hard to remember what is actually.
Yeah, it's kind of when I want
in order and what.
That's
So
a big thing.
I get that, but for me, I'll talk about. I'll just talk about it now. Yeah, I'm not bothered by that anymore. I'm like, there's parts of the plot that I had trouble keeping straight in my head. I don't mind though, because it's just I don't feel like that really matters to me that much. Just the characters are both likable and unlikable simultaneously.
Yeah.
Almost all of them. And it's just
you don't feel responsible for them, which makes it easy to watch me when they're unlikable.
and you don't feel like bad for them, except for maybe like Michael and George Michael at times, but not really because I don't know, they don't seem, but it's just, again, just joke after joke, and the characters are so developed and everything so that was higher on my list. You'll see.
Yeah. Oh, you had it on your list. Go.
Yeah. Higher or lower, however you depend.
That's right.
However you depend it. 13, Fly the Conchords. The reason it's not higher is because there aren't many episodes. And that's when it's not just on TV, because it was HBO, so I have to put in the DVD, which is fine.
Yeah.
But whenever I put in DVD, I'll watch all of them within a couple days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. These for me all are on TV because I don't want the work involved of going and
Yeah.
getting something or signing into something. I just want to turn on it if it's on.
Yeah.
And I do like that they have multiple things now, multiple episodes in a row, because
Yeah,
that makes
me
it
too.
really,
Yep.
because that way you can just sort of like settle in and do whatever you're doing and have that on, and you don't have to. Anyway, yep.
What else you got? Do you have?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go next with. Remember, this isn't a real list,
Right.
but I'm gonna go with Cheers.
Cheers is
Yeah,
a good one.
Yeah, because
Eric-
that one is it can just again, the earlier ones are so much better, but I like them all. Yeah, it's easy.
I went like probably 10 years without watching any Cheers, and I was thinking I'd probably just get kind of bored now because it might seem dated. Errol and I, because Errol's never watched it, we watched it like a week ago, and it was pretty good. The character's likable. There were some jokes that were like, oh wow, that shows how much society actually has changed
Yeah.
since then. Like there was some guy came in the bar and he was like, oh my son is dating I was getting married to a black person, and he's like, I need help. It's like, oh god, what's gonna happen? And they're like, instead of the bartender just going, this is the coach, instead of him going like, what's wrong with you? So what? He's like, okay, well let's see if you really have a problem with it, what you can do is tell him that you don't want to see him and stuff, and then he the guy mentions that it mentions that it's a man that his son's getting married to, and then like the coach is just like doesn't know how to even comprehend that, you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like that shows obviously that's still an issue in parts of the country, but it's one of those things where it seems like I was just waiting for them to go like, hey, you're an idiot,
Yeah.
what are you doing, get out of here?
Well,
But no,
his
you
character
know what I mean?
was kind of an idiot. Now, I mean, I
Coach-
think
oh,
they
yeah,
might have
yeah.
used. I don't mean that derogatorily. Anyway, that might be why they allowed his character to
That's
be
true.
that person, because he's already kind of the doofus kind of.
That's true.
Even
That's
though
a
he
good
had a
point.
big heart or
Yeah.
something, I don't know.
But yeah, we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hey, but next is Party Down. It's the same thing as Fly the Conchords. Not many episodes. Not on TV. I have to put it on. It was,
Yeah.
but I have to put it in the DVDs. But
I would put
yeah, I
that
love
on my
it.
list if I thought of it. Yeah, for
It's
the
so much
same
fun.
reasons though. Yeah.
Cool. What do you got next?
Let me see what I got here. Here's one. It's not really. I can't find it very often, but sometimes we'll have it on in spurts. Is Just Shoot Me.
Oh, I forgot about that
That
show.
show's just plain fun.
I remember liking that.
And it's funny, and it's only funny. That's what's nice about it too. It's just a bunch of people that are kind of not real moral almost.
Yeah.
But I don't
Yep.
mean that in a big way. I just meant it's just always funny because they do whatever they want. Blah blah blah.
I'm like trying to remember in my head parts of that show, and I keep getting mixed up with
David
other
Spade
shows.
and
and other
it's
people that
also-
you know, but I don't know their names.
Yeah.
Oh, that real famous guy.
Yeah, I can't remember his name right now. Otherwise, I would have said it.
Well, there are a few, but
Because
the,
I'm just talking about the guy that's older and
that
so
like
it's
owns
nice.
the place.
Yeah, he's the editor, and anyway, that's just fun
yeah.
for me. Anyway, I feel bad that I don't remember
Elliot
his name.
Gould.
Nope.
It's Elliot Gould, isn't
No,
it?
it's not.
Elliot Gould's not it?
Nope.
Let me see who Elliot Gould is and who I'm thinking of then.
Yeah.
How do you spell Gould? Is it with that? Yeah.
No, wait, I can't remember.
It's
the
not
guy's name.
Elliot Gould.
I know. I think I might have said that.
All right, I'll look that up later.
Yeah.
Next is
He played Jack. That's all I can get so
Oh, yeah.
far. Yeah.
You see how I get them mixed up with Elliot Gould a little bit, right?
Because they're the same age.
They're both guys.
That's about it. Yeah.
Futurama.
Yep. It's on my list.
The reason it's not higher on my list is because it usually takes me a few minutes to watch it. I'm usually not in the mood to watch it, but whenever I turn it on, I'm really into it. And then I just keep watching more episodes.
Yep. That one works.
And that one is bright. And even though the stakes are high in the world, because a lot of times it's almost the end of the world or whatever, or they go back in time and then they're close to not existing, things like that, it doesn't feel... I don't think they want people to get stressed at all.
And you kind of know that by the end it's going to be okay.
Exactly, yeah.
Or not okay, but it's going to be on
Yep.
again.
And even if everyone dies, they can find a way to make it so that that's okay, and they'll be back. Yep. Cool. What do you get?
I'm next. I'm going to go with the Newhart, where he's the innkeeper.
Oh yeah,
The innkeeper.
that's one I know
in
better
New
than the other
Hampshire,
one.
yeah.
because that's one where that was on. I think they had new episodes when I was a kid. So I
That
watched
one
it more.
is a little over the top sometimes. So, but I can listen to that, and it's just kind of fun.
Pop quiz. What's the most common character name in that show?
Bub.
I thought it was Daryl. Wasn't it Daryl and
Oh,
Daryl?
that's
and
right.
his
It
other
is.
brother
You're
Daryl.
right.
or
You're
whatever?
right. I don't know why I said what I said.
That's okay.
It's
Phil's name is
ridiculous.
Bob. There might be more Bobs.
No, I think Daryl is. No, there's only one Bob.
There might be more. Who knows?
There aren't.
There might have been guest
There are
Bobs.
not.
That's the one with the guy at the front desk was Elliot Gould, right?
Yes.
Cool. My next show, Elliot Gould's the main guy. Extras.
Elliot Gould.
No, that's the Ricky Gervais show.
God,
Extras,
you're weird.
same. I like it slightly more. It's a little bit more comforting than Party Down and Flight of the Conchords, but again, not many episodes. Not on TV much.
Nope.
So that I kind of going back. I feel a little bit like those. I should have had Futurama and Law and Order a little bit higher because there's so many more episodes. But Extras is just more comforting. There we go.
Yeah. Yep. There's so many in here that are just so obvious, but it's that's why they're on here. I'm gonna go with Seinfeld.
Seinfeld is my next one, too. That sometimes I'm just not in the mood, and that's one where like Ariel doesn't really care for it that much, so that one wouldn't be on my list at all if I was hanging out with Ariel. But yeah, again, it's easy to watch.
Yep.
And likable. It's weird how much I every time we do the show, I have so much more to say about the ones that are the first things I say, and that my favorites I have less to say.
Well, that's because you've run out of time too.
That's true.
So my next one is right along there with Seinfeld. I see them all like they're equal things for me as King of Queens. So I go. By the way, most usually I go through Jags. Like I like
the show Jag.
No, not exactly. That I
You don't go through the show Jag.
And I don't know if I go through moods or if that's because it's on again or something. You know what I mean? But King of Queens, I like that more than I should.
That was one of mine. If we did this list 10 years ago, that definitely would have been my top 5.
It holds up for me though. That's the thing.
Some of the characters, like Lee Romini's character, is that how you say her name? I think so. She
Remini,
yeah. She just seems to hate her husband so much, and then their relationship just seems so unhealthy and just like they just
it's
do
a
not.
personality thing, though.
Yeah, and it's just it for me.
It's
There's
just
like
the way she's
it's the same
written.
thing. Everyone Loves Raymond has the same issue for me.
But that
where
one
it's
got
like,
so bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but Everyone Loves Raymond also had the issue where, again, I like Ray Romano plenty. I like a lot of people that are in the show, but it had that issue where I felt like someone would they'd tell a joke, and then there would be like a super long break for people laughing, and then someone would make a face, and then there would be another super long break. It was just, it felt a little too self-indulgent maybe at times. I don't know. But
that one started out, it's the way it started out would be on my list, but the way it ended up, it's not anywhere near my list.
Yeah, King Queens was, I probably would enjoy that if I watched it. I've watched it in a long time. But, yeah. All right, I'll do one because it's my turn. Star Trek The Next Generation is number 8. This one bridges the kid part and me.
That's a good one. Because, there's a bridge on the ship.
Nice. There we go. The USS Enterprise. United States.
Have any of the bridges ever been on
Saturn?
any of the Star Treks?
What?
Any of the Bridges boys ever been on any of the Star Trek?
Bo Bridges or Jeff Bridges or
Lloyd Bridges?
Lloyd Bridges.
Or there's a son now too, like Nathan or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I could look it up, but I'm having trouble typing and talking. I'm having trouble talking apparently too. Next Generation watched a lot as a kid. I had no idea what was going on most of the time. I could follow like a little bit from the music that was playing probably, but I just did not understand what was going on. And even though it's basically each episode, there's a bunch of crazy kind of life-threatening stuff happening, or it's like this species is about to be extinct or crazy things like that. The Enterprise still feels like a safe place. So when you're watching the show, you're like, everyone here is looking out for each other.
Yeah, they have a good dad and a good older brother.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And they have...
and the mom is good.
Yeah. So that still has, for me, I still get bored occasionally watching a little bit, but it's very comforting.
It's too plot-driven for me to watch in that style.
I get that. But for me, because growing up, I didn't really follow the plot too much. It's fine. We're getting another phone call. Just a second. Here we go. Hello, thanks for calling KPCA. You are on the air, and remember, please watch your language. How you doing today?
Poop.
Thank you.
Yeah, apparently Gene Roddenberry offered Lloyd Bridges the role of Captain Kirk on Star Trek.
Really?
Jinx.
Yeah.
Did he take
So
it?
anyway, no, I don't think. I mean, he wasn't on the show, I guess.
I don't know if I've seen every episode, so I'm not sure.
He was on Sea Hunt.
Yeah, but that's not.
Sea Hunt, I don't know what that is.
But then
Sea Hunt. Wait. Oh, that's what it's called? Sea Hunt? Are
That
you
was
sure?
before you were even born.
Oh, what show am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Sequest.
CSV.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the Star Trek connection.
Thank
I didn't
you.
know that.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Nice. The world is so small, isn't it?
Next Generation is mine. What else do you have?
I got a lot more. I'm going to go quickly to Curb Your Enthusiasm, but again, they don't ever show those two in a row, so it rarely happens.
That, I love that show.
Yeah, they do.
It does have a little bit of that. It makes me uncomfortable at times. Makes Ariel very uncomfortable, and so I don't watch with her because she I think she finds plenty of stuff funny, but it just the uncomfortable parts are just horrible for her. But which I understand, and so I I think for me also there are some episodes where there's too much plot driven stuff, if that sounds dumb to say about that, and not enough just people hanging around talking, because that's stuff I like, and not as much of the how's he gonna get out of this predicament, or what's happening here, and like what's happening here that doesn't explain anything. But there are too many things where it's like, oh, look at this coincidence, look at how it ties together. And it was like Andy Kindler was on podcast once talking about Curb Enthusiasm. He's like, I just want to see him talk. I don't care how the shoe got in the pizza box. And it's like, that's just such a perfect way to explain that. I do like the show a lot.
But yeah, it's one of those shows, though, if it comes on, I relax completely. I think that's what I get by comforting, because it comforts me in that way.
Moving down to my favorite show of all time. So
Wait,
it's
we're all the way at the end?
No.
Oh, I see.
We're just still moving. My favorite show of all time, which I could have made it number one, but it just doesn't. No, it couldn't, because it's not the most comforting. Mr. Show with Bob and David. I don't know why. This when I got to that, I was going, I don't know where to put it. It's weird because I think it's the funniest show ever, but I don't just binge watch it that often. And then so I guess that's it. Maybe I feel like I need to pay attention more.
I love that show, but it doesn't even. I don't even after saying it. I don't want it on my comfort list.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
but it's totally comfortable to watch. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe if we had, I should get a psychologist every episode to come and sit there and tell us why we have these questions about our own selves. All right.
Maybe it's just makes me think or something. I don't know.
That's true.
I like to, I can't relax if I have to think.
Yeah. Cool. What do you got next?
This is one of my favorite shows, and I don't know anybody else in the universe that watches it, watches it, but I know people watch it.
I bet I can get it.
Get it.
Northern Exposure.
You're wrong.
Oh.
Because that's the show I want to watch in order.
Ed.
That's it. Which one is that?
Isn't that Ed, the guy that was the
lawyer in the
bowling alley?
Yeah, no, that's another one. It's New Adventures of Old Christine.
Oh yeah.
That show, I just love it, and you'd like it because it's bright.
Yeah,
but
I haven't watched it yet.
But I just for some reason that show is I just love it, and I can
Julia
watch
Louis-Dreyfus, right?
Yeah, and I can watch it over and over again. It's hilarious and it's stupid.
Oh.
But I really like it. I like all the characters.
Is it on TV much? Like, do they have
it has binges like
okay.
in the early mornings on Saturdays or something.
Okay.
So like Sunday I can't sleep when I get up. That's a great thing to put on. Just like check my messages, have that on, get my coffee going.
Nice.
That kind of thing.
I've never seen it, so
that's what I'm saying. I don't know anybody who's seen it, but I know it's been seen because they had like 5 or 6, probably 15 seasons. Because I always forget after like 5. I don't know.
After 5 seasons of a show, I always stop counting too, or I forget to count. All right, now we're getting into all these could be number one at different times of the day.
Me too.
Number 6 is Friends.
I had that as my next one also, but I think it's my 5. Yeah.
For me, there are comforting. It's just very comforting. Obviously, like I think most people who like that show would agree that is a very comforting show because you know the characters. Again, you're not really worried about horrible stuff happening. Some of the jokes, again, haven't aged great. Mm-hmm. And there are some episodes I think just aren't that great. So there's still a little bit of that of when I put on, hope it's a good episode. Mm-hmm. And so that changes things a little bit.
That show is always better than I think it's going to be for me, though. I
That's
think
true,
it's because
yeah.
like I'll read which plot it is and like but then there's funny jokes in it, or I like what somebody does.
And I feel like the later seasons, the characters became less like people and more dislikable for the most part.
More cartoony.
Yep. Yeah. Except for Joey, who was always cartoony, so it didn't really matter too much. All right, so that was your next one too?
Yeah.
All right, I'll say mine quickly. Arrested Development. We've already talked about it.
Yeah.
Nothing else to say.
Frasier.
Frasier is one that I haven't watched in a long time because I think I'd be bored. But that was one that whenever I was never in the mood to watch it. Whenever I start watching it, I enjoyed it.
It's perfect for me to go to sleep because I mean this as a compliment. I go sleep really fast with Frasier.
Yeah.
I think it's just because I relax into it. I know what the character. I can hear what there's. I don't.
Pop quiz. Yeah. Name 4 characters from that show. One of their names.
Bob, Stevie, Terry, and Melinda.
Made up.
Yeah, I know. There's Frasier, Niles.
Yep.
Niles' dad.
Yep.
And the girl.
Frasier's dad. Daphne, was that right?
Yeah, but I like the station producer.
Yeah, it starts with an R, I think.
Yes, it does. Roz,
there we go.
Good job.
Thank you.
What's the dad's name? Oh, I almost had it. Went away. Okay.
That actor just passed away a few days ago. I've read multiple books. People worked with him saying he's just the best. He was the best guy to work with ever. And he didn't start acting until he was like in his 40s. Mm-hmm. So impressive. Yep. All right. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. A few years ago it would have been number 1, but I've taken a break from it for a little while because I would watch it way too much.
Yeah, I've never watched it, and I know. I mean, not a whole episode. I think I'd like it, but I just haven't. I want to start from the beginning if I watch it.
I think it gets significantly better the second season because it feels like it gets less produced and more of just people talking and doing stuff, and less like, we have to have these big gags kind of. I don't know if that's true. I think this thing gets better. Yep. Ariel. Mom, what do you have next?
My next one is...
I talk about Ariel a lot in the show, and I'm used to
The Office. The British Office is one I prefer, but same thing is not enough episodes.
Yep.
And it's never on, so I'd have to get out a disc,
Yeah.
Because I still put things on disc and watch them on there. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I just love that, and the new the American Office works too, but again, up until a certain season.
Yep. The Office. I have the American one on mine. I like the British one a lot. One of the reasons it isn't as comforting for me is because with a lot of the accents, I have to listen carefully to understand everything they're saying. I'm bad at hearing accents.
You can't translate in your brain.
Exactly.
Yep.
And
like when they say they go to the loo, you go like, what are they doing? Are they
exactly.
Are they skipping?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, is that what that song "Skip My Loo" is? They're skipping they're going to the bathroom?
I think so.
Of course that's what it is.
But The Office is on my list too. It'll show up. But yeah, The Office later seasons, again, just some episodes that aren't great. And yeah.
That was like they
characters
just want to stay in
so
the air,
cartoony.
so they just kept doing stuff.
And now they're rebooting it, apparently.
Oh my.
With some of the same characters.
Oh my.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
If a show is failing,
I felt like
what you do is just cancel it for a few years. And it's a lot of bands I feel like do that, where their people stop, they stop being popular, break up for a few years, and then they reunite. Everyone's like, oh, thank God they're back. It's like,
it doesn't work all the time. No.
All right, number 3 is, I want to see if you can guess it after I give you this clue. I think it's the weirdest TV show I've ever seen.
Nope.
Saved by the Bell. Saved by the Bell is the most unique, weird show while being so regular. It every episode I watch, I just, because I watched it in high school going like, this is dumb, but it's, again, comforting.
It's just like real high school
fun.
though, right?
Yeah. And it's just fun to watch. I don't really know if I thought it was ever that funny at all. I just enjoyed watching it. And every time I watch it now, I enjoy watching it. And I go, this is so weird.
You think
this
it's
was
weird on
made.
purpose? Or it's
I
just
don't
it's
think
just
so.
weird writing.
I think it's weird writing and
but not
the
for the
things
sake
that
of being
happen.
weird.
Yeah, there have been a lot of podcasts and books or parts of books written by Saved by the Bell and how it's this odd thing, and I think a lot of people just. It's not one of those things where it's so bad it's good. It's bad in many ways, and that is part of what makes it good. But it's I think about it every once in a while just what makes it so odd, and everything about it is weird.
You know, that show to me has one purpose in my whole life, and do you remember what that is?
To make you uncomfortable?
When we were traveling across country, and you are so hard to get up in the morning. And we were driving back from Boston, and you know, we made a long trip out of it, so it was a lot of days. But you wouldn't get up in the morning, and so I mean, you know, we were kind of on vacation, so I didn't want to put. So I'd turn on the TV, and it was always Saved by the Bell was on for several hours on TBS or something, and I'd put that on, and that was enough to get you to wake up. So I would use that as your little wake up medicine.
Nice.
You weren't a child then. I mean, you were in your 20s.
Yeah. Yep. My love for it hasn't diminished, but my opinion of it has changed a whole bunch.
I'm surprised you used the word love for that show.
It just
seems like it seems like just an only alike show. Would you marry it?
No,
just date it. See, that's why I say it's a like thing. Yeah.
Domestic partnership. That's marrying, kind of. Without
some states.
Without the I guess like partnering without the romance. Domestic part. That's not true at all. What?
I guess that's just friends.
I just used wrong words completely. Pardon me, everybody. All right, what do you have next?
Oh, my next one. My last two are kind of could be
like 1A, 1B kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's Mary Tyler Moore Show. That show is just so fun for me. What's weird though is that there are some episodes that you go, holy cow! They have things where like it's almost like date rape on there. It's just
really?
It's like it's just weird that some things that some harassment that's just over the top.
So many
considering
sitcoms.
It's such a wholesome show.
Yeah, so many sitcoms that are family shows. It's so much of it is the male character trying to trick the woman character into being intimate with him.
Yeah, and it's Mary Tyler Moore, who was a strong character in most ways, but then she was also never wanted to hurt anybody's feelings.
Right.
It's like some of them, I actually got uncomfortable watching a Mary Tyler Moore show, which in the olden days...
But it's number 2 on your comforting shows.
But I mean, in the olden days, when it was on live, originally, it wouldn't have felt that way.
Okay.
And that's just really weird to me.
Number 1 for me, Parks and Recreation.
Wait, you're supposed to be number 2, aren't you?
Oh, sorry. 2 is The Office.
Okay.
Yeah, we've already talked about that. Sorry. That's why I forgot it. The U.S. version. 1 is Parks and Rec. I'll just go ahead and skip yours. Sorry. You get to go last. There aren't any bad episodes, I think. There are jokes that don't land, but Errol and I have watched all of it. I talk about Errol a lot.
Yeah, you do. She's your favorite episode.
Yeah. And that show just... We watched all the way through over the last month or two. I like every episode, and it's bright. Characters are likable. The stakes are like, oh, the city's not gonna be able to afford to keep the pool open, like things like that, you know.
Yeah.
I like every character, the regular character that's on it. It keeps moving up to be one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, I enjoy it, but it's never grabbed me in that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that for me, that's one of those where immediately I'm into it and happy it's on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. My number 1 is Bob Newhart, and that was easy. It came to me right away. The one where he's the shrink in Chicago.
Yeah.
The psychologist, actually not a shrink. It's just so fun for me, and all the characters are human beings, and they're all none of them are horrible, and it's just. I just love it. It just feels so good. It's like if it comes on and I'm going to fall asleep, it makes me mad.
Was that a show that was what, like 70s?
I think so. If I'm looking back at the clothes in my head and going, yep, 70s.
And Mary Tyler Moore was probably like
just before that. Mary Tyler Moore was the company that made the Bob Newhart show.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, actually.
Yeah,
oh, so you don't have
an MTM production.
So you don't have any shows from your childhood or your teenage years. No. You don't have like Dick Van Dyke.
But those aren't those are fine, but that's
You
like
know, I Love Lucy.
that's like a TV dinner instead of homemade.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yep.
like it's just not as good.
I was curious. Cool.
See how I make everything like food?
Yeah. I like
Because
food.
TV dinners are pretty awesome when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's
But
a very good
now
point.
they
Yeah,
don't taste that good.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
that's very true.
Yeah.
They're never big enough.
You can have two. Oh, they have a Hungry Man.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah.
I would not have guessed your number one.
Yeah, it's pretty
But
much
it's a good-
for me.
it's not
It's
surprising, I
It's a
just wouldn't have
perfect
guessed
show. It got even when
I
it
get
got
that.
at the end where it got silly. It was still for me. I just loved it. And
Somebody was a dentist on that show, right?
yes, the dentist.
I know that show.
Oh
pretty
nope,
well.
you're wrong. As an orthodontist.
Oh. Orthodontry
Oh, by the way-
existed back then?
And here's another jinx that goes with that. Yeah, kids had teeth that were crooked back
People
then.
had teeth then.
That crooked kind.
All right.
I think he directed some of the Friends. I think
Friends?
so.
Oh, okay.
The orthodontist, but I know he did a lot of directing. I might have it wrong. Okay.
Oh, okay. It's not Alan Alda, but somebody that I get mixed up with him a little bit.
Who? What?
It's not Alan Alda, but I get him mixed up with Alan Alda some.
Well, that's just really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have MASH on your show? That
that
Elliot
one-
Gould's in MASH.
That's yes. No, he's not.
Really?
He's
Elliot
in
Gould
the,
was
he's in
in
the movie.
MASH?
He's in a movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the MASH did not hold up for me. It's too witty.
I've always been bored watching it.
I actually like it, but it doesn't.
Oh.
I don't know why. Because I thought that should be on my list, and I went, maybe it's because it's never on anymore, so I don't see it.
Oh, that's cool.
Except I've seen it.
feel it's
Nope, don't know.
Okay. Real quick, I want to go through some of these shows from my childhood to see if they mean anything to you.
Okay.
There are 3 that you will know, like Mr. Rogers, Sesame Street, Reading Rainbow, Fraggle Rock. Those are ones you know. I'm curious if any of the others, because I'd watch them a lot, and they were on like Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, so you knew that they were fun
By the
for you
way,
to
the
watch.
ones you already mentioned, I considered putting on my list, but I would never, ever on purpose put them on.
Yeah,
If
yep.
they were on, the kids were watching, I'd sit down and watch them with it.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
I'm curious if things the other ones are the same at all for you. Rugrats,
Nothing.
Under the Umbrella Tree,
Don't even know what it is.
Eureka's Castle.
I remember you guys watching
Okay.
it.
Today's Special.
That's a good
That was
one.
earlier.
Yeah,
that was
one.
early 80s.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think Chris found that and we can, didn't he? Find
What?
some. I think we have some of that we can watch.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I would watch that one.
Doug,
Nope.
David the Gnome,
Nope.
Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters. You're familiar with those?
Yeah, I've heard both those words
Yeah.
before.
Muppet Babies.
Never saw it, but I know what it is.
Okay. The TGIF shows. You'd watch some of those with us, right? Like
Yeah.
Full House,
Yeah.
Family Matters.
Yeah.
And this is something that
I wouldn't watch them now, though.
20 years ago, this would have been, I think, number 1 on both of our lists.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah, isn't that funny?
Isn't that weird how
Yeah.
much it? And
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gotten much worse. I just stopped
Yeah,
being entertained. Basically, I stopped caring.
Yeah.
I'd probably still
Yeah.
enjoy them if I watch them some.
it just faded away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing I would watch, by the way, for that even as a kid I would watch for comfort, which is funny to me, is really old, scary old movies. The black
get
and
that,
white,
yeah.
the black and white ones. You know, even if I was scared, those were comforting me, and they still are. Like the Vincent Prices and
Yeah.
Bela Lugosi's. Those kind of scary movies are just I just love them. They
Yep.
make me feel so relaxed and entertained.
It's like the atomic chicken from the river, like those kind of things.
Yep,
Yep.
like that one. The Blob, The Fly,
Oh,
the original one.
yeah. All right, we got 7 more minutes, about 6 more minutes until DJ Saeed and his new show from 3 to 5 p.m. I'd stick around. I want to listen to that.
Wait, here's your trivia.
Trivia. Oh yeah, you got one for me.
Yeah. Okay, Happy Days
Yeah, I got it.
has 3 different shows that came off from that.
Johnny Loves Chachi.
Wow, that's the last one because that's actually a spinoff of a spinoff.
It shows there's like there are other spin-offs
Oh no, it's
to
no,
that?
it's you know what? I take it back. It's not a spinoff. It is a spinoff from that. Take it back. I'm completely wrong. Can you erase this and
Yeah,
go
sure.
back and edit that out?
Yeah.
Thank you.
We have buttons.
Oh yeah, push one.
Yeah. There are more? I know
Yeah.
like Charles in Charge is not a spin-off.
Nope.
I gave up. I don't know.
Joni Chachi's the latest
okay.
one. Yeah.
What else is there?
Does it help if I say Milwaukee? Because it took place in Milwaukee.
WKRCRTP
In
Cincinnati? No, I don't know.
Laverne, does that help?
Laverne and Shirley is
Yeah.
a spin-off of that?
Yeah. And then
Oh yeah, the two Michael McKean and the other guy were in Happy Days,
Yeah.
weren't they?
Well, that show is actually I think they
Like
actually,
were Laverne and Shirley in Happy
I
Days
think
also?
they actually use that show to. I don't. You know what? The spinoff might be the wrong word.
Oh, spinoff. I think if it's connected with characters, it's
Gary
spinoff.
Marshall used that show to introduce the other one.
Okay,
And
like
what's-
Family Matters is spinoff of Perfect Strangers because one character was in Perfect Strangers and she was in that. Yep. Okay. Sorry.
Huh.
What?
And then don't be sorry. What?
Sorry. What?
And then the other one is I don't know if he was on Happy Days just because he had the spin. They were going to make the show, or if he was so popular on the show, they made the spin-off. Philip just dumped over the entire stovetop of kettles and pans. Robin Williams.
Oh yeah. Leave it to Beaver. No, Mork from Mork. Mork and Mindy.
You got
I
it.
totally forgot about that. I should have gotten that one.
Yeah, you should.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, well.
All right, those are good. None of those were on our list though. All right, I'm gonna tell you an event. You're gonna have to tell me it was the year
no.
81, 83, or 85. The years that Chris, Stuart, and I were born.
Yeah, but that's
your
going
three
to be
sons.
so hard.
No, well, that's. I'm curious to see if there's you can connect it with like, oh, Chris was this old, or oh, I remember I was pregnant with blah 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 when this happened. Okay.
I should have named one of you guys blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So 81, 83, or 85. Fraggle Rock. The show
81.
starts. 83.
Can I say that? Sorry.
I think that's fine.
Fooey. I mean, I'll use that caller's word. Poop.
Live Aid. The Live Aid concert took place.
It has to be one of those 3 years.
Yeah.
It's got to be 85 then.
Yep, good job. Raiders of the Lost Ark is released in theaters.
85.
81. Michael Jackson introduces the moonwalk.
81.
83. Return of the Jedi
These
is
are all
released in
so
theaters.
close. It's kind of like when
Yeah,
in
it's tough. Yeah.
it's kind of like in that show that Drew Carey does now, where the prices
Oh, the
are.
prices are- yeah, it's
you
like
don't
who-
really know
yeah.
the price. They're all within
Yeah, it's
3
just
cents
random.
of each other.
Yep.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Return of the Jedi is released.
Oh, I feel bad that I don't know this one
That's okay. You don't feel bad.
because everybody in my family is screaming and jumping up and down like a crazy person
Oh,
right
no, that's
now.
fine.
85.
83.
That's what I meant.
Super Mario Brothers for the NES is released.
I don't care.
85. We played that game a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here's one. Here's another. Charles, the Prince of Wales, and Lady Diana Spencer get married.
81.
Nice.
That was easy because
You were pregnant with Kristen.
I had Kristen and their kid was born the same. You know, it's all this
Oh, okay.
stuff.
There we go. Yeah. See, that's what I was hoping there'd
The
be
kids
things
were
like that.
tall and blonde. You know what I mean? It just this was easy.
MTV is launched.
81. It was on Christopher's birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Elmo's introduced.
It was on his birthday.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
mean,
good.
not the year.
Actual date. Yeah, there we
Yeah,
go. There's
I could
another
go,
connection I
yeah.
was hoping for.
Yeah.
Elmo is introduced on Sesame Street. Sesame Street.
Really? He's that old.
Yeah, Elmo.
I'm gonna go with 85.
Yeah, good job.
Wait, so when did the moonwalk thing happen?
That was 85. 83. Sorry.
Okay.
So when I was born, you guys were already moonwalking.
Yeah, we were already doing it in our sleep.
That's how it happened, right? When I popped out, then you just moonwalked away,
Yeah.
and they got
Yeah.
clean them up. Christmas Story is released.
Ooh. 83.
Yep, good job.
Thank you.
And this is the last one. It's the worst one. You're not going to care. Madonna goes on her first concert tour.
Our first one. Oh, Papa, don't preach, man. Oh, I'm gonna go with 81.
85.
That's what I said. 85.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Well, the time has come to end the show. Thank you for doing the trivia.
Oh,
But that was good. There were a few of those that you actually were like, oh, I remember, blah, blah, blah.
yeah. We both had a lot of. I knew all of your shows, which is weird.
Oh, the shows too. Yeah, I was thinking of trivia,
Yeah.
but the shows definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew all yours.
Yeah. Well.
Well, we're done. All right. Well,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much. That was fun. I hope it was fun to listen to. Stick around for DJ Saeed from 3 to 5. And go to kpca.fm, look at the schedule. There really are shows added every week, and there are a bunch now. So thank you very much for listening, everyone, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.